Hey students, so I know some of you are ready to start your themed pot with a lid today. That means you have already watched the Ed puzzle video on how to make a pinch pot. You might have already done the extension lesson. You for sure finished your planning page. That's your visual journal one-pager. If that's not finished, you are not ready. Okay? The planning has to be done prior to actually making it, otherwise you have no clue what you're doing, right? So once you are ready, once you've shown me your visual journal planning page, you get all the requirements on there. It looks nice and neat and not a big old mess. Planned out, organized, you have your facts on there, it's colored, it's detailed, and then you showed me your metacognitive reflection questions and answers. You don't necessarily have to have the questions on there, but just so I know that you have answered them in your visual journal, like we did yesterday. If you were absent, obviously you will have to click on your files and find those and answer some questions there. Thinking about your thinking is what that is. So what I've done, this is some clay in that window in the back of the room, okay? This room that I'm filming in is 5095. It's across the hallway because the other teacher is in there this morning teaching ceramics classes. So this year, I guess, usually I do the demo videos over there, but this year I'm doing a lot of them over here so that she has her plan time over there. So this countertop over here, for those of you that take my class in here, you already know this, but this is a wedging table too, just like all the wedging tables in that class, in the classroom that you are sitting in. Okay, your metal tables, just kind of watch me mess with this clay while I talk. Your metal tables are not for wedging. They just aren't. Okay, they're too tall. The clay will stick to them. They're not really for wedging. So the white cream countertops are for wedging. So that is what I'm doing. Have you ever been in the kitchen with your mom or grandma and maybe she had you knead the bread? Okay, maybe you're making bread with mom or grandma and you're kneading the bread. That's what I'm doing right now, okay? So it's like I'm mixing it up. Have you ever been to Andolini's Pizza and you've watched them make the dough? You know, this is what they do with the dough. Just sit and watch them sometime while you're in there eating. And this is what they're doing. They're mixing it all up. What I'm doing right now, you guys, is I'm getting rid of air bubbles, which we know air bubbles cause your pot to explode. It will ruin your pot and everybody else's, and everybody else will not be happy. I mean, you know, nobody will be happy with you. So you don't want that to happen. So I'm just pressing it down. I'm using my muscles, and I'm like I'm on my tippy toes because I'm short. Some of you are taller than me, so you don't have to be on your tippy toes, but I have to get on my toes, and I have to press down. You're pressing down into the wedging table, basically. And what I'm doing is, the technique that I'm doing right now is, some potters call it the Cornucopia, and I'll show you why. Because it creates a spin on your clay like this. See that? As I was pressing down, it's just spinning. And it's popping any air bubbles out and getting rid of them. The bottom of it kind of looks like a cone, you know? So it's kind of like a cornucopia. There's another technique that's called a ram's head. And that's where you kind of start with a little mini loaf of bread like this. And then you're taking it, and you're putting your thumbs together like this. And I'm using just the palms of my hand right here. And I'm just gonna press down like this and leaving a little bit of space in between my thumbs like this. And as I'm pressing down, pressing down like this, it starts to form a nose in the middle, like that. It looks like a ram's head. And then if you're doing it correctly, this is going to start spinning on the edges, okay? But that's the ram's head technique. What that does is it it moves all the air bubbles out this way, okay? Once these get long, you just smash them back in, okay? So, wedging is important. It mixes your clay thoroughly, and it gets rid of air bubbles, okay? If you do not wedge, you will get air bubbles, and bad news. So, once you get it wedged really well, then hopefully you have watched that video, that demo video, okay? Do not ask me how to make a pinch pot. There's a demo video on Edpuzzle that teaches you how to make a pinch pot. Watch it. And then if you get to this point and you think to yourself, how do I start again? Get your Chromebook out, open up the video, put it next to you, watch the video while you make the pinch pot. Okay? So that's the best way to do it. So you can wedge your clay in 5 minutes, you guys. You could have a pinch pot completed easily. You will make this due date if you work hard, okay? If you don't work hard and you mess around and flash, you're not gonna make the due date. So, I'm making a pinch pot. How long did it take me to open it and make that? What, 20 seconds while I was talking to you, right? Here's a trick, okay? I'm just using my thumb here. I'm just kind of like pressing it. Here's a trick that I want you to try, okay? See how after you make it, there's all these lines and everything, you can, I'm just gonna pinch it up just a little bit more because it's too thick, you guys. You don't want it very thick. It can't be any thinner than, like your finger. Any thicker, sorry, than your finger. But the trick I was gonna show you in a second, just smoothing it out with my thumb. So what I'm doing right now, you guys, is this. I'm going like this. Okay. Here is where, if you have claws on your hands, you know what I'm talking about, girls? You're gonna have a hard time throwing claws now. Okay, especially if you take ceramics too, you can't throw on the wheel with those big old nails you've got. So you're gonna have to figure out a way to, work with your nails or cut them off. I've had many students get into ceramics and just love it and they cut them off. I mean, I get my nails done all the time. Look, they're just shorter. They're dipped, just like you guys, but they're shorter, so you might have to. So here's the trick. This is ugly, not refined. So get it refined. Take it and roll it on your table, okay? You can roll it on your metal tables. Once you get it wedged, just take it back and make your pot enter table. I'm rolling it like this, okay? Now look what I did. Nice and smooth and refined. See how that works? So use the table to help you, okay? Once you get this done, remember it's plastic, very fragile right now. The last thing you want to do is mess with it too much. The last thing you want to do is start pinching really hard, which some of you probably will. I mean, it's your first year, it's your first time in ceramics class, you probably might mess it up. It's okay, part of ceramics, you gotta learn. So, I mean, if you see your neighbor pinching their clay to death, you might just say, hey, calm down. Your walls are too skinny. Calm down. Don't pinch so hard. Try to help each other out a little bit. So I've got it made. I've got the base made. All I need now is just a lid, but maybe I'll make the lid later, okay? Remember that you can use any of these things for stamping, whatever. I found this. Here's my thing. Here's my thought. Movement, right? This pot has to be all about movement. So what if I just use the tools? Don't carve. Please don't carve with these tools. It's plastic, don't carve with them, okay? Plastic. If you want to do any carving, you wait till late stage of leather heart. I'm just going to use them to create some movement, okay? So watch. I thought, you know, this has a great circle on the end. Perfect for making a perfect circle like that. If you can print a circle as opposed to drawing a circle, it's going to look so much cleaner and nicer and neater. Okay, so there's my little marks. I'm kind of liking this dip right here, that natural dip that's happening. There's another dip here. Maybe since this is a movement piece, maybe that rim can be part of my movement. Maybe I can accentuate that movement by doing, you know, like a line or something, and I'm just gonna kind of draw. I'm just gonna go with this line. See how it comes up right here slightly and then down. Watch, guys. Just follow that line, Okay, watch, I'll show you. I'll turn it around in a second, you can see. And then I'm coming back up, and I'm gonna just do this. So that might help. See that? That might help accentuate that line, that movement line, because it is a little bit wavy. See that? Okay. And then I can figure out other movement, you know, prints that'll help with movement. This is cute. So today or tomorrow, I could do this tomorrow. If I'm careful, if you are very careful with your clay, you can do some prints on the first day, like I'm doing. I can also wait for tomorrow. Leave this pot out, just very lightly covered. Don't cover it all the way, or it's still going to be plastic tomorrow, and you're going to waste a day, and you're not going to make the checkpoint, okay? You'll be off target quickly. What I'm doing is just laying it on there, and I'm just smoothing it like this. I'm pressing, making sure that I'm making that print. Press everywhere like this. Now, if my pot is too thin, I can't do this. So make sure it's not too thin. So remember, I can do this now or tomorrow when it's a little bit drier. Okay, I think I've pressed enough. Now I'm just gonna pull it off. See how cute that is? That's adorable. So maybe I wanna go around and do it all the way around. Okay, do some more on the rest of it. And that would be a good thing to do on day one, you know? Day one, I get this portion done. Come in tomorrow, day two, make your lid. And then by then, this will be a little bit drier. You can do some carving, add some underglaze to it, maybe. You got some things. Wax it, do some mishima. Let the wax dry. You could wax it and finish your mishima in one day because wax only takes 2-3 minutes to dry, okay? The underglaze, you would maybe have to leave it out a little bit longer. Cute print all the way around, okay? Adorable. There's day one, okay? Leave it out to dry. I take plastic. I know this plastic is gross, but you know, take another piece of plastic that's a little bit cleaner than this, obviously. And on your shelf, you'll just cover it like that. Like that, so it has some airflow on your shelf. Boom, day one's over, okay? See how quickly you can make this? If you work hard and use your time management skills, okay? So I hope you have fun and enjoy your clay making today.